right, guys. So tonight we are talking about balance, and this is something that I think affects every single person, no matter how much you have, how much experience you have, how long you've been in the business, um, from what walk of life you come from. We all have to learn balance, and you can have the most easy personal life in the world, which I don't think any of us do, but you can, and you can still struggle because um, when you're running a business from your phone, it's like always with you, and it's so hard sometimes to not just get addicted to the hustle and like want to work it all the time. Or you can be kind of on the flip side of that, and you can actually like want to shut down when you feel like, oh, I've got all these messages, I can't keep up with everything, I'm overwhelmed, so I'm just going to shut down. I tend to be more of the first example. Like, I'm like, oh, 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 I want to go, I want to hear this, I want to do this training, do that training, you know and I kind of get addicted to that rush. um but if you're not careful, it can lead to burnout or overwhelm. Um, a lot of times, if you don't have that right balance, you're going to end up on one side or the other. And I don't want you guys to sabotage your business because you don't have balance. And it's not your fault if you don't have balance. Maybe nobody has taught you. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight, because um, it's something you have to learn. It doesn't always come natural. So, um, I said this a little bit earlier, but if you don't learn the formula for balance that works for you, it's going to be different for everybody. You can kill your business, your confidence, even your relationships outside of work. So it's very important. Um, I want y'all to think about this. If you have a notebook or anything in front of you, I want you to write down your top 5 priorities in life. Okay, not your business. Your business might be one of the top 5, but I want you to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mine is my faith. 2 would be my marriage. 3, pets. Sorry, but it is. 4 and 5. Let's see. Health. And 5, probably like those other relationships. Like, I call people my family that are not really my family, but they're my friends that have become family. So those would be my top 5. And I'm writing these down with you guys because this is an exercise that I learned at a couple conventions ago, and it changed everything for me. Um, like I said, balance is a formula that's going to be different for you and for me and for everybody. And when you can really embrace that, it's no longer a comparison between you and everybody else, because you're running a different race than them. You have different priorities. You know that your journey is going to be it's going to be different, and that's okay. Um, but when you are looking at your day, we have 24 hours in a day. I want you to look at your list. Faith, for me, faith, marriage, pets, health, friendships. Am I spending the most of my 24 hours first and foremost on my faith? And then the second most hours on my marriage? And the third most on my pets? And the fourth on my health? And the fifth, my relationships? No, I'm not. I'm not. The majority of my time is usually spent, you know, in the hustle and the bustle. And it's like the running around, oh, I've got to clean, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. But is it as important as my faith and my marriage and if we know that these are our top 5 priorities, and we know we only have 24 hours in a day, then why don't we act accordingly? You know? And so I'm hoping today, when I kind of talk to you guys about some things that I like to do, I'm hoping that it will help you to open your eyes and schedule out your time in a way that can help you live a more fulfilling life, because this is not just important for pharmacy. This is important. This is an important life skill to have. So, um, Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do, because most people don't have all their priorities straight. Most people, when you look at your list, you're gonna be like, oh no, I need to make some changes about how I'm spending my time. And the way that I like to do this, and you can do this any way you want to, this is what I recommend. I would write out, and so like this is my little thing with my priorities. And then I have like a little box and I'm gonna write what time I wake up. I'm gonna start waking up at 7:30 every day. And I'm gonna do hourly, 8:30, 9:30, etc., all the way down the sheet, okay? Until the time I go to bed, which needs to be 10 o'clock, but we know it's not. Okay, because Connie and I were messaging each other at like 2 a.m. It's Connie. I don't know. I don't know what it was even, but you messaged me and I was like, well, I'm up. I'm just going to go ahead and respond. So there's that balance. We're going to get there. So write all the way down. You can also find like an hourly day planner or just print off a sheet like that online that's just got your hours, okay? But I want you to write out, you can even spend a whole day and you can, after you do it, it's kind of like a log. Like, have y'all ever had to do a food journal? It's kind of like that. It's like you can write down every single thing you do in a day. And I guarantee you're spending a lot more time scrolling and doing things that don't matter than you are the things that do matter. This activity is very eye-opening because it's going to show you how much time you're wasting. And I don't want y'all to think, no, 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 I really don't have time. Because trust me, I know I work 3 jobs, okay? Not anymore, but I was working 3 jobs all year. And trust me, I'm not trying to like guilt trip anybody or say, yes, you really do have time when you don't. What I do want to do is create awareness of how you're spending your time. We've got 24 hours in a day. How are we spending them? Are we using them to honor those top 5 priorities in our life, or are we wasting it? Because our days are numbered. I mean, it's a sad, like morbid way to look at things, but like I don't want to look back one day and say, wow, I'm looking back at my marriage and I spent more time looking at my phone than I did looking at my husband. I don't want to think that. I don't want to have those regrets. So as you're writing down every hour of the day, I want you guys to create blocks of time. And when you create these blocks of time, you're just going to schedule out your day as far as what you need to focus on for your business. And again, it might be different. So, like for me, I know that I need to create a big amount of time for content creation. And we're going to talk about kind of like the nitty gritty of this in a little bit. But I know that a lot of times I don't want to do the whole face of makeup. I don't want to do all this stuff. And so, what I've really liked to do and what's worked well for me is batching content. So, sitting here, taking all the pictures, and doing a bunch of different makeup looks and maybe switching my shirt and doing different things, taking a bunch of quick pictures, making a bunch of videos, and storing them on my phone for use later in the week. But you're going to have to figure out what works for you. How many times do you want to go live a week? And if you're like, I don't want to go live, I'm sorry, friend, you need to go live. If you want a successful business, it's really going to help a lot. I'm not saying you can't have a successful business without it, but it helps a lot. So think about that. How many times am I going to go live? How much time am I going to spend, learning new things about my business? When I scroll and I'm looking for ideas to post, how much time am I actually spending versus like just looking and just getting lost in the scroll? And so Carly's going to talk about this more tomorrow on the Momentum Monday call. She has a 35-minute plan that is really amazing. It's like broken down into 7 5-minute chunks of time. I think it's 7. And it's like you set your timer. I do 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this. And imagine if you For instance, if you know you've got 5 minutes to clean up your whole makeup area, like me right now, if somebody said you've got 5 minutes and I'm going to give you $100 if you can get it clean in 5 minutes, imagine how productive I would be compared to if I'm like, I'll do it at some point this weekend. I'm not going to be moving real fast. I'm just going, and it's probably not even going to get done. But if you schedule these very productive, focused blocks of time, you will surprise yourself at how much you can actually do. So setting a timer is going to be really helpful for that. It's going to be really important that you communicate your goals to your followers and your family. And you're going to say, I am going to spend, again, it's up to y'all what works best for you. I'm going to have 30 minutes a day, 2 hours a day, whatever it is, of uninterrupted time. And I am pedal to the metal. I am working. I love you, but you're going to have to answer the phone or whatever they're going to have to do. But this is the time that I'm going to dedicate to my business so that the rest of the time I can be with you and I can give my full self to you, and I don't have to have my phone or whatever. It will make you a happier person, and it will make the people around you happier too when you can kind of learn how to switch gears, okay? So communicating those goals, you can also communicate these things to your followers. So for example, it helps you hold yourself accountable. My goal is to go live Monday through Friday every morning. And this is all starting. I just made this whole new schedule because I'm going part-time, and I just made this whole new schedule last night when I was thinking about all of this stuff. And I thought, I'm going to communicate and I'm going to let them know that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll be live on TikTok at 8 a.m. or whatever time. I can't remember what time I wrote down. And Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to be live on Facebook, and I'm going to post it, and it's going to hold me accountable. It's going to let them know, like, oh, I've got to show up. If I want to see Renee live, I need to show up at this time. And it also makes it look really professional when you can post a schedule of what you're planning on doing each week. So communicating those things, share. Now, some people might disagree with this, but I wrote this down. Share how you're balancing this. Don't appear that you're working 24/7 if you don't want to attract that. If you're trying to attract people that want an additional $300 to $500 to $1,000 a month, when they already have a full-time job, you don't want to act like you're working 24/7, because they're going to be like, how does she do that? There's no way I can do that. They're going to say, I don't have time. The reason they don't think they have time is because they see how much work you're putting into it, and they're like, oh no, it ain't no way I could do that. But if you explain to them, and if you kind of post some behind the scenes stuff, and you post, look, content creation on Saturdays, I'm doing this, I'm batching my content, and this is how people like me that work can still add an extra $500+ a month to our check, because I just spend a couple hours every week doing this or that. It shows them some of that behind the scenes stuff, and it shows them how you can do this. You can make it possible. When you show you working at the coffee shop, or like when you integrate your business into fun routines, those are things that kind of help other people to see it is possible to balance this with a real life. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes. This is kind of, I debated talking about this, but I think it is related. You have to treat it like a business. It's like, I remember Lisa Murph did a training with our last company a long time ago, and she said this, and I always thought about it, and it's so true. You clock in and you clock out. You show up, and you do your work, and you have to be the type of employee you would want to have. You're your own boss, so sometimes it can be kind of hard, because you feel like, well, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know if I don't do this today. But you have to learn how to hold yourself accountable, and you have to show up. Nobody else is gonna take your business seriously if you don't take it seriously. The business is 80% mindset and 20% skill set. What that means is you don't have to be good at it. You just have to have the right mindset. And so, again, how much time are you investing in your mindset versus your skill set? It would be more beneficial for you with our limited 24 hours a day to invest in learning how to build your confidence or showing up anyway for the sake of building your confidence, than it would be to try to improve your makeup skills. Okay, because it's not about skills as much as it is about your mindset. Believing that you can do this, focusing on those top 5 things, and that kind of leads into what I'm talking about next. So income goal and your why. I want you guys to write down how much money do you want to make a month. Okay. And don't sell yourself short, because people in this business make 6 figures a month. Okay. So don't act like you can't do something. Okay. How much money per month would you like to make? With the understanding that, yes, I'm going to have to put the work in, and write that number down, and nobody has to see it, but just write it down. I'm writing mine down right now, and I want you to add $2,000 for it. They used to say double it twice, but I'm just going to tell you guys to add $2,000 to that. And that is what we're going to shoot for. What would it take for me to make that a month? And why do I want to make that a month? I want you to go back to your 5 things, and I want you to think about, what would blank amount of money do for my faith, my marriage, my pets, my health, and my relationships? What could I do? What could I give to my church? What could I do for the children's ministry at Hope Church, which is where my heart is? What could I do for my marriage? Could we go on a really nice vacation every year? Multiple times a year. Will be every month. Like, what could I do? What could I do for my pets? Would I never have to worry about, when they have an unexpected surgery or whatever? Would it not rock my world every single time I have to take them? And I want y'all to think about these things, and think about, I'll just tell you, my number's 10,000. If I can make $10,000 a month, Marshall's retiring, and I'm not going to have to worry about these things. I'm not going to have to worry about this. And the crazy part about it, y'all might be like, 10,000, people do it. People do it all the time. And why not me? I have to think that, like, if they're doing it, then why can't I do it? If they're putting in the work, then why can't I put in the work? I might not be as good as other people are at doing certain things, but that's only the skill set. 80% of it is the mindset, and I have the determination. And my faith, my marriage, my pets, my health, my relationships, they are worth it. Okay. And so I want you guys, when you're having to make these sacrifices and you're having to say, Sally, Bobby, Jimmy, I need 35 minutes to get through my list. Can you answer the phone or whatever? You're remembering that I'm doing it for all of these reasons. Okay. And it will help you so much. It will help you so much when you just always have to go back to this why. If you find yourself like really struggling with your why, this is a really like crazy thing to say, but keep asking why. Well, I want to help my marriage. Well, why do I want to help my marriage? Well, I got married when I was 28. My husband was 38, and I felt like we missed out on a lot of young adult years together. And I want to make up for it with travel and fun and make memories. And we're best friends. And I just want to invest in that. Well, why? And just keep asking yourself why. And eventually, it will just about bring you to tears. And that's when you know you've hit the nail on the head. That is your true why. That is why you're doing this. And when you get up some days and you don't want to show up at 8 o'clock like you said you would, you need to go back to that why and remember that. So hold on a minute. What to schedule? Okay. So you can make a schedule, like we said, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, your whole day. You don't have to schedule out every single block of time, but your priorities, yes, you need to make, a commitment that this time to this time I'm doing this time to this time I'm doing that for your priorities, or they will not happen. Just like the cleaning the room analogy, cleaning the makeup room analogy. I'm not going to do it unless I schedule it and say, this is my time I do this. And if I don't do it, then it's not going to get done. So I've got to set my timer and I've got to do it. The three most important things for you to schedule, and within these, there's some kind of subcategories that if you want to do like a coaching call with me, or even your sponsor, and you're like, I just want to kind of like narrow this down a little bit more, then do it. Okay. Because it's going to help you. Three things: creating, learning, and connecting. That covers everything. You need to make time for creating, learning, and connecting. Creating includes like your videos, your pictures, writing out your copy for your content, taking pictures of your different products, even maybe doing, well, no, that's going to be on learning, but you're taking all the pictures that you're planning for your posts, your videos, your reels, your stories, you're creating and you're being creative. You're looking at other people's stuff and you're saying, how could I make this like spin this my way, or make this about my business and kind of through my lens. Learning is learning. Are you reading every day? Are you listening to an audiobook or a podcast? Like, are you doing research on your products? What are you doing that is helping you be better in this field? Because the average person doesn't spend 15 minutes a day learning new things. Okay. They're just going through their day. They're doing what they got to do, and they're getting home and they're tired and they don't want to do. But when you're intentional and you say, I'm going to read for 15 minutes a day, you're already doing more than the average person. Okay. So be intentional. What can I learn? Maybe it's personal development. Maybe you're like, my confidence is just like non-existent. I need to work on some personal development. Well, you go order Jamie Kern Lima's book called Worthy. It is so good. I want y'all to read that. And that is going to help more than anything. But you kind of, as far as the learning part goes, you have to figure out, what do you want to learn about? What is going to make you excel at this? And only you can answer that question. Your sponsor might be able to help you to kind of get to that, but you have to, like, for me, I want to be a better leader. So I've been reading different things about leadership development and trying to work through and sort through some of the things that have held me back from being a good leader in the past. Like, why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? How can I do it better this time? So 15 minutes a day learning. The next thing is connecting. And that means talking to people, y'all. This is network marketing. You have to network. Social media, you have to be social. You have to talk to people, even if you don't want to, you got to. Spend 15 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever your plan is that you're gonna make for yourself tonight. You're gonna go be nice to people, go comment, leave meaningful comments on people's things. Let them know that you are a presence on social media. You're not just like hiding behind the scenes and you only pop out when you want them to spend money. No, you're a real human being that cares about them, that says, I'm so sorry I heard about your grandma. How can I pray for you and your family? Asking questions, being there for them, being a real human being, okay? That's your connecting. Also, that it would include connecting with your team, connecting with your followers, connecting with your customers, follow-ups, all of that kind of stuff. Meeting new people. It's important to nurture the relationships we already have, but we always need to be adding new people to our network constantly. So, are you meeting new people in Facebook groups? Because you have something in common with these people. I'll tell you one thing, I have joined the plant groups and I have met so many people in the plant groups. And it's crazy because, before that, I really didn't know like what types of groups to join and to be in, because like some of the pet groups I just couldn't handle it because I don't like the way some people do their animals. And so I couldn't handle it. But then when I got the plants, I'm like, I like these people. People that are nice to plants are nice people. So I really started making friends there, and started having some people follow me and go back and forth. And so building those new relationships and nurturing the old ones. Um, one more thing, and I'm done, I promise. Connie, you have that book, but haven't read it yet. It's good. It's good. People are more motivated. I read this and I thought it's really true. It's kind of a sad reality, but it is a reality. People are more motivated to change what they're tired of than to achieve their dreams. So, what do I mean by that? Like, if my why is, I want to have a Lexus SUV. I want to go to Aruba. I want to not have to, well, no, I want to buy an authentic Louis Vuitton bag that's not like off market, like all of my stuff. Like I want to one day be able to do that, or whatever. Okay, you've got that list of all the things that you would like to be able to do. Now think of the things that you're sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of clocking in and out. I'm sick and tired of people asking me to stay over for a meeting that I'm not getting paid for. I'm sick and tired of having to stay and listen to stuff that has nothing to do with me and my job. I'm sick and tired of having to stay somewhere away from my family to do these things. Like, which one motivates you more? Most people, statistics show most people are more motivated by the things, by not having to do the things they're sick and tired of, than they are wanting to acquire these other things. And so when you're thinking about your why, which I was thinking about mine as I was saying that, my pets, like not having to go, oh my gosh, that's $1,000. When I went to the vet the other day, I had to take Obi for a routine shot, and they were like, "Do you want to take care of Ellie's bill while you're here?" And I was like, "Yeah, $999. What do you do? I mean, you have to pay it." And I'm like, "Okay, there's my beach trip, like you just have to do it." And I would love to be able to be at a place financially where I don't have to feel like that's such a heavy burden. You know what I mean? So think of the things that you don't want to have to do anymore. And if that is a better motivation for you, then let it be. But what I would really challenge you guys to do is I want you to do a couple different things. You've written out your 5 priorities. I want you to do a schedule of from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and set yourself some goals. Do you want to spend 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever you want to do? Some people, it might be several hours a day. For me, it's going to be a couple hours because I recognize that my goal is lofty, but I also recognize that the payoff will be lofty. So I'm like, I'm okay doing that. And I also know that my work hours, I'm going to set up my work hours mostly when my husband's at work so that I can still, put this time in without sacrificing from him. Sometimes I'm going to have to sacrifice, like right now I'm having to sacrifice, and this is okay because this is very important to me. But I want y'all to make your schedule out and block out time for creating, connecting, and learning. Okay, creating, connecting, and learning. And I also want y'all to think about those 5 things and figure out how much time are you going to allot for the things that matter to you? How much time are you going to allot for your health? I say my health is one of the top 5 priorities in my entire life, but how many times did I go to the gym this week? None. Didn't go at all. But yet it's one of my top 5 priorities. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So if these really are my top priorities, how am I going to look at my weekly schedule and block off time for those things that I say matter to me? So I want y'all to do that. And I want you to take a deep dive into your why. Why are you doing this? And it probably has something to do with those top 5 things. I want you to think about why you might want to help those situations and what you maybe like don't want to have to do anymore. Like if I could reach whatever income per month or whatever your goal is, what is that going to get me? I hate to say get me out of, but how is that going to change my life because I'm not having to go forth um go through some of these obstacles or whatever, like my vet bill that I gave for an example. So how is that going to change your life in a positive way by the things that you don't have to do? It's not always about acquiring more things. Sometimes it's about creating a different type of life for yourself. And I think that sometimes that's more relatable to people too. Um, you know, especially like this day and time, everybody's busy. And so, sorry, I just got a text and it completely threw me off. ADHD. Everybody's busy. So you have to think about, would a busy mom of three, busy single mom of three, would she want to devote 5 hours a week on a business so that she can get a Louis Vuitton purse? Probably not. That's probably not what she really cares about. But would she want to hire a cleaning lady that can come in once a week? Yeah, she probably would. That would probably be really life-changing for her. So just kind of thinking about those things and even showing up in your post that way. What could this do for you? You know, talking to those people in your target audience and saying, what could these changes do for you in your life? I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop.